Hello gems, my name is Bushnell. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stay long enough to subscribe. I talk about femininity, personal development, and mindset. And if you're already part of the tribe, welcome back. When you have been in your masculine energy, in your masculine side for so long, and the society you're in, the environment you're in, the people around you encourage you to be in your masculine side, it's so hard during your feminine energy journey, during your level up journey, to just be in your feminine at all times, because you sometimes go back to what you have embraced and learned over a long period of time. So I want to share with you in this video how you can get in touch with your feminine side by making these feminine switches. So get a notebook, get a pen, get comfortable, get something to drink, and let's talk about this. Point number 1 is switch from worldly femininity to godly femininity. So what am I saying? Things like doing the chakras, things like law of attraction, things like trying to base your femininity based off Greek gods like Aphrodite and Venus, things like these meditations that are demonic. Those are or even Hollywood tries to give us what the picture or the ideal feminine woman is like. Instead, switch to biblical characters, because femininity is a characteristic that God has, that feminine essence. We see it in God's nature. Remember that we are created in God's image. So as a woman, and you carry the image of God in you. The feminine image of God in you is something you carry. And we see it even in biblical characters. And I have a whole series on YouTube on biblical femininity. And when I did this series, I shared how different women in the Bible had feminine characters and portrayed it, and what we can learn from them, even the bad ones like Delilah. No, I'm not judging, but the moment I switched from worldly femininity, I stopped trying to be feminine and became, because it was my being, it was who I was created as, and I was operating in who God created me to be, and things just became easier, things just became soft and flowing, which is supposed to be. The second point is switch from falling in love with a man first to falling in love with yourself. You know, women are in a rush to fall in love with a man. You know, you fall in love with anyone that gives you attention. And you should watch my other video, which was dating lessons from men. Anyway, start to fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with yourself, and what will happen is, when you do this, you will release that energy of a woman who's in love with herself, which is very attractive to a man. And what it does is, a man gets drawn to you and falls in love with you. And what you'll be doing is receiving love, because you've created an environment to receive love by falling in love with yourself. Listen, as feminine women, we receive love. Men provide it. Not that we're not capable of loving, but us loving ourselves is enough to hold that love for a man. Because if you love yourself, then you will attract and choose a man who is good. If you love yourself, you will treat people around you well, because you know that when you treat people around you well, they return it. There are people who will naturally reciprocate it. Of course, we live in a fallen world, and there are people who, no matter how much you're good to them, aka Judas, and he will still betray you the way he betrayed Jesus. So you loving yourself is how you love others, and in return, a man falls in love with you. So there's no need for you to overcompensate and try to get a man to love you. Instead, you fall in love with yourself. The third thing is switch from hustle culture and grinding 24/7 to being provided for. I shared this in my my video on feminists and how it takes away from your femininity. And the thing is, listen, if you're who in the right mind can be provided for and still chooses to work, and still decide, I will work, I will sell my hours for money. No, ladies, if you have an opportunity to just be provided for by your providing man, you take it and let your work be something you do completely out of choice, like the way first ladies do it. They have their husband, who's the president, provides for them, and in return, what do they do with their free time is they go out and take care of causes and things that will benefit other people that they feel is a need, so you do that. Don't let this false sense of loyalty to structures be something that takes away your femininity, because it does. It takes away from your femininity, because you are being there's this false sense of loyalty to structures that does not support your gifts and radiance. So if you're in a toxic workplace where you're not getting paid enough, where people are just mean and awful, that is taking away from your femininity, ladies. If you're in business, then because I'm also in business, and one thing is you have to learn the art of gentle business, and you can also be feminine in business, even though it's a very masculine dominated space and you have to have masculine traits here and there. You can be feminine and let that be feminine in your business, so much so that people are drawn to your business. And if that's something you'd want me to talk about, I'm still learning as well, but I can share it on my blog or here on YouTube. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments. The fourth thing is clothing, and here it has I have a lot to talk about in this space in terms of fabric. Try moving from the stiff fabric like jeans to soft fabric like satin and silk and cotton and chiffon. Try moving from trousers to skirts and dresses. Move from colors that don't complement your skin tone to colors that complement your skin tone. Warm tones dress differently from cool tones. So find out which tone you are in, and also skin complexion as well, because there's some people who I don't do well with bright yellow, bright red, but I do well with deep red. I do well with mustard, and I know that because of my skin complexion and my skin tone. So also in this space, stop going for trends and go for modesty as well. And I know there are some trends that kind of work, that are timeless. Like right now there's so many trends like blazers will always be timeless, and Queen Letizia of Spain always talks about blazers and how timeless and how every woman needs them in their wardrobe. So if that's the kind of trend you're going for, cool. But instead of just going for trends every season, you're in trends, go for modesty. And then this is something that not everyone will agree with, and personally I'm not really very deep into it. And that's, instead of short hair, go for long hair. And in 1 Corinthians we see that a woman is identified by her hair while in church. So this whole thing of short and long hair, personally my mom and my sister have short hair and they look good in it. They usually cut it into bobs, but I personally look good in long hair, and I know men are very much attracted to long hair. Again, this is preferential, but generally men are attracted to long hair, and long hair is what is put with women, and short hair is what is put with men. But again, this is if you can rock short hair. I saw another video of Eve, the one who sang "Who's That Girl," and she had short blonde hair and she looked so good. But yeah, that's the thing. At least I've told you, now you know. Finally is manners. So instead of talking a lot, and try moving to listening, and not just listening to react and respond. Just listen to respond instead of reacting. Yes, that's what I meant. When it comes to also promiscuity, move it to celibacy. You don't have to do what men are doing, ladies. You can wait. Thank God we don't have the same bodies as men who think about sex 24/7 all the time and actually do need sex, okay? But women, actually, yes, lack of sex for men can lead to depression. So yeah, celibacy. Embrace purity. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Move from isolation to sisterhood. Oof, ladies, you should listen to my recent podcast on how it was so easy for the enemy to pull me down because I was in isolation instead of embracing the sisterhood. So embrace sisterhood, and also even when it comes to things like the promiscuity to celibacy, your sisters can be a really good accountability partners in this space. There's also power in sisterhood, and that's why I have a WhatsApp group where different ladies from different countries, we just talk about leveling up and just other random stuff that will better us. And if you want to join the group, I'll put the link on the description box below, and you can join the group and have a sisterhood. And then last on the manners bit is move from complaining to gratitude. Can you imagine this? Somebody said this, I saw this on Instagram, and this person was like, if you get somebody something and they just walk away, they take it and walk away, you'll be like, yo, okay, you will be like, I will never give this person anything. But if you give somebody something and they go, thank you, oh my goodness, thank you, you'll be like, do you want more with that? Same with God. When you tell him thank you for what you have, instead of complaining for what you do not have, what happens is you get more, and you get even more than what you thought you wanted. And until next time, let me know what you want me to talk about on the comments.
I don't want you to waste my time. I don't wanna wait till it's all over.